If you know who you are, it's hard to be fooled. Hello, and welcome to a series of little talks on non-dual spirituality where I'm going through some qualities of the non-dual state that are obvious once you're awake. And they're also tips and pointers for how to get there. So, when you're awakened, when you know who you are, it's hard to be fooled. And I don't necessarily mean fooled by a scammer who calls up on the phone and tries to get your money, although you're probably a little less likely to fall for that as well because you're not going to be as greedy. But I'm talking about being fooled by spiritual lies. I was trying to think of something else to call it besides spiritual lies, but really, spiritual lies is what it is. A big one is, so when you know who you are a nothingness that's interconnected with everything. It's a huge, beautiful experience of interconnectedness. It's literally seeing God. So you're not going to be confused by all the stories about God. You're not going to be confused and fooled into thinking that all truth can be found in one old book from a couple of thousand years ago, right? You're going to know that truth can be known here and now, you and me. We don't have to have old texts to tell us anything. You're not going to be fooled into believing that people were born in sin and that everybody's just bad, that humans are bad, because you're going to know different because you're a human and you know who you are. So these basic spiritual lies that just confuse the heck out of us have nothing to hook onto. There's literally no way you can fall for all the crazy stuff that is sold to us as spirituality. You're also going to find some real truths. You're going to know that human connection is real. And when we do things that enhance that connection, we create such beauty and harmony that it's totally worth doing. So think of all the spiritual practices we have that just bring people together. You're going to know that those are good, particularly when you step into good, healthy community things like that. But you're not going to be fooled by greed. And isn't that kind of really the biggest thing about greed? Is that you're fooled into thinking you can get something for nothing. You're fooled into thinking you can get more than your share easily. It's like, no, when you know reality, you know that that's just really not the case. And so you can't be fooled by these things. So how do we then know who we are? Well, you are the real solid human being that is sitting right there watching this video. You are real. And if you stop for a second and just stop projecting outwards onto everything and just step back into yourself, you can feel your aliveness. You can start coming from your point of awareness rather than coming from all the tricks that you've been told on how to live. Simply becoming real and ordinary. That's the trick. Not trying to become something special. And there, right there, is a spiritual lie that we so easily fall for, that we're supposed to become this special, magnificent, glowing beam of light. But there's so much power in just being a real, awake human being. So let that inner spark in you just wake up for a moment and join me here in total simplicity. Can you feel that? Can you feel just the relaxation that comes over you when you have a moment of realness? Step firmly into it, because that's what you are. You are that moment of realness.